More and more nowadays, people are starting to see the benefits of working from home. All you need to do is Google it, and you will see stats that are very supportive of this measure. But given the new situation in turn with the illness, which I will not mention, but I'm sure you can read between the lines, it's caused a massive increase in the amount of people who need to learn skills on how to work from home. And that's very critical because in this time, if you don't have the skills to work from home, your income is actually getting reduced to zero. If this is you, you're going to find great value in this video because we're going to dive into the art of freelancing and the value it can bring to you if you need to generate income from your home. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video produced by Financial Anatomy, the place where you can take control of your financial destiny. In this video, this is going to be part one in the whole series on working from home. See, with recent developments of the illness, or I'll just call it the C virus if we will, it has caused people to have to work from home, or if their work doesn't involve them working from home, if it's not mobile, then their income has actually been reduced to zero. Now, I know the government has been talking about sending $1,000 a month, but that may not be all that you can live off of. For those of you that are watching this video after the crisis has passed, I want to give a thumbs up for all of us because we've gotten through it. And hopefully you come out on the other side with just more skills which you can monetize anytime that you want. If you're watching this and we're still going through it, I'd like to reassure you that it is going to be temporary. But in the meantime, it couldn't hurt to learn some skills so you can use to generate more money. Whether it be just some side money that you can use to spend on things, or if you actually need another full-time income. So at its roots, what is a freelancer? Well, putting it simply, a freelancer is someone that gets paid to do a certain amount of work or a certain type of work. And based on what skills you have, you can always do some type of freelancing. But the problem is society has failed us in really equipping us on how to be freelancers. So that's what this video is about. For me personally, I've been a freelancer for about 2 years, and this is not including anything to do with Financial Anatomy. This is me doing various articles, videos, or services for clients in exchange for money. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you need to develop if you want to be a freelancer, ranging from getting new clients to invoicing to actually developing a skill set that people will want to pay you for. And for this video's sake, I'm going to show you the company that I got started with when it comes to freelancing. And it's actually on this platform, which is YouTube. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so a lot of y'all know that I actually have another channel called The App Lifestyle, where I talk about Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft, apps that you can use to make money from your phone with. But what some of y'all don't know is I do freelance work for a publication called The Rideshare Guy. And I'm gonna type in The Rideshare Guy on YouTube so y'all can see. And if you haven't checked out his channel, you might want to consider doing that if you're looking to make extra money on your phone. Pause that. I'm going to click on videos. Some of these you will see me, but you see different people breaking down different things about these apps that you can make money with. Now we're going to go to playlists. These are called Rideshare Guy contributors. And there's a playlist for me, rightfully named Elijah, and these are videos I made for the Rideshare Guy. So I'm going to click on the Uber Eats delivery tutorial. I'm going to skip that ad. So what this video is basically breaking down is a tutorial on how your first Uber Eats delivery will be, as well as things you'll see in the app when you're making the delivery. Now, this wasn't done for charity. Obviously, the Rideshare Guy paid me for this video, so this is freelancing. In this case, it's freelancing doing a video from someone else. Now, that's the skill set I'm using in this particular case, but as we'll get to later in this video, there's different types of skill sets you can leverage, like graphic design, photo editing, Photoshop, tutoring. We'll get into that later. But first of all, how did I actually get involved with the Rideshare Guy? Well, he had an Uber Eats tutorial that was outdated based on various updates that the Uber had made to the app. So what I did was I reached out to the Rideshare Guy and let him know his video was outdated, and I can make him updated video which will bring more views for his channel. He asked me what was outdated about his video. I told him, then we negotiated a price for my services to make a video for him. And that's how we got started. It's really as simple as that. So we're going to go back to those 3 steps that you'll need to get started when it comes to freelancing so you can have this result for yourself and start bringing in money. So now that you've seen an active example of what freelancing is, to get started, in order for you to become a freelancer, you have to pick one of these 3 areas that you want to focus on, because these 3 areas are what people value the most in this life and what they're going to be willing to pay for if you can add more value to whatever they're doing. It's going to be either finance, health, or relationships. Once you decide which area you have expertise or you want to develop a skill in, you pick that one area, then you need to niche down. So let's continue with our rideshare example. So for me, it's in the finance niche in terms of raising money or increasing income. And specifically, I narrowed it down to rideshare and delivery because I had an expertise in that. I've been delivering food for Uber Eats for about 4 years, rideshare for about a year and some change. And I had some value that I could bring to the market. So I reached out to the rideshare guy and let him know that his Uber Eats tutorial was a little outdated and I could give him a brand new, more updated Uber Eats tutorial. And that started our relationship in terms of freelancing. It was really that simple. But I do have good news for y'all. Y'all can reach out to companies directly. In fact, if you want to be more direct, more aggressive, you'll actually keep more money that way, but it's not mandatory. We'll get into that later in the video, but for now, you see how I narrowed in a skill or a niche which I'm knowledgeable in? We all have something that we're knowledgeable in those 3 areas: finance, health, and relationships. I say pick the one that you're the most passionate for. Take another example, like in the health industry, there's a lot of people who are very passionate about working out. And how many blogs do you see that have articles written on how to gain muscle or how to lose weight? That's just another example to just narrow this in so we don't have to stick strictly to the finance niche. So the first thing you want to do is find that area you want to focus on, niche down, and then find a skill which you can bring to the market. So what is my skill in this particular case? My skill is making videos, and my niche was rideshare and delivery. So what is the skill you want to bring to the table? Well, you're gonna have to figure that out yourself, but I will give you just a few ones that are popular. Video editing, writing, artists, editing. When I say editing, I'm talking about writing, tutoring. These are just a few things to get the brain rolling, but we could keep going from graphic artists to voice actors. Really sit down and narrow in a skill that you want to bring to the table. And if you don't have any skills, it's time to develop one. Some of the things that I mentioned, most people, they're either okay on camera, like what I'm doing now, or they're very good at writing. So that could be a good starting place. Realize that you don't have to love the skill, you just have to not hate it and not mind it in order to generate income. But if you do find that you're more passionate from one thing to another, then maybe that's something you do want to focus on developing. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can know when the next part in this series is going to be dropping, and give a like for the YouTube algorithm. It's really appreciated. So what's number 2? Number 2 is to find an outlet to which you can go to the market and get clients from. Now, you can reach out to people directly like I did with the rideshare guy, but this time around it's not fully necessary. There are freelancer sites like Fiverr and Upwork, which you can get started pretty quickly depending on your background. I will say Fiverr is probably the most accessible one, where as long as you have a skill, you can go ahead and get started. Now realize that you do need to get some ratings on Fiverr first before you can charge, I'll say, the market price. So you may have to swallow up your pride a bit and do things for cheap just until you get a few ratings, and then start to charge accordingly. Same goes for Upwork and all these other freelance sites. I'll leave them in links to them in the description below. And just so you know, some of those are affiliate links, so I do benefit if you do click on that link and decide to get started with Fiverr or Upwork. With that being said, you'll want to focus on one starting out, because each one has their own set of rules, and getting on multiple ones at once, it can be a little overwhelming. So get started with one and get comfortable with that first. So that marks number 2, which is find an outlet. You can reach out to publications or businesses directly, but you can also go to Fiverr or Upwork route, where all you got to do is make your profile and reach out to people on there. Or once you start getting a little momentum, they'll actually reach out to you. And last but nowhere near least is you need to make arrangements to receive payment. So this isn't a job where you just get a direct deposit. Now, if you're going the Fiverr or Upwork route, they do have arrangements, so they act like the middleman. So you won't get paid till you finish the work, and once you finish the work, so they have their own rules in regards to that. So I'll just refer you to their terms of service, but it's pretty simple. But if you're not going to use Fiverr or Upwork, you need to have protocols in place to get paid. And one of the protocols I've always used when it comes to freelancing, you need to capture the whole payment or at least a partial payment up front, because this is kind of an insurance policy against, I'm not going to say fraud, but you want to collapse time frames between getting paid, because if you just do the work and get paid later, the pain could drag on with clients. So a good practice is just to have it set so that you get paid right off the bat, or you receive payment, a partial payment. And that brings us to our next point, which is actually a bonus point. That was number 3, but this is a bonus tip. When it comes to freelancing, should you go for per hour or should you go for total payment, flat payment? I'm gonna say if you're getting started, the per hour rate may be a little more appealing because you are getting started and you're kind of used to that dynamic if you're coming from the 9 to 5. However, once you get some experience under your belt, and even if you're more aggressive to start with, I'm gonna recommend you go for the flat rate because it really incentivizes you to hone your skill. See me, I also do video editing on the side, and I would charge per video, okay, instead of per hour. The reason I did that is because you want to get paid per result because you get incentivized to move faster. So if I finish this video in, let's say, 2 hours instead of 90 minutes, I just made X amount of dollars in 90 minutes instead of 2 hours. I can move on to the next project faster. You see how I can make more money by getting more workflow? That's the way you want to start to think at it or look at it, but initially you may have to get started using the per hour model. Just be aware, if you do decide to go with the per hour model, you are giving up that just incentive to finish things faster, and you are leaving money on the table, but you got to start somewhere. So that concludes this part 1 in the Working Home series on freelancing. So what are your questions and comments below? Have you been freelancing for a while? Are you just now getting started? Are you kind of being crowbarred into freelancing because of the C virus outbreak? I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like for YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new. Now I'll catch y'all in the next video. Don't forget to take control of your financial destiny.